Hello to everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Shavi Zane, as some of you may already know. Um, Tonight, I want to discuss with the 144,000, the chosen seeds. Those of you who are chosen, you know who you are by now. We are in the time of the awakening in the age of Aquarius, and so many of us have gone through spiritual transformations. There's been many changes in our lives, internally and externally. So I hope everybody is doing well, staying grounded, staying balanced, and keeping a positive mindset and positive energy around you. I want to first start off by discussing a dream that I had last night before I get into the readings to see what the message is for the chosen. So, the dream that I had last night, let me go ahead and get into it. Um, I was actually spending time with an old friend of mine. This is somebody who was an old friend in real life. This particular person, I actually walked away from them um, in in the 3D in real life because I found that during my spiritual path, we was outgrowing one another, and that the energies that she was projecting was no longer in alignment with those things that I believed in. And so I walked away from her. But I was having a dream that I was actually spending time with this particular person. And in the dream, I was at her place and I sensed an energy of her being very envious of me, like having a very envious spirit, but for whatever reason, I was still there. And she was telling me about a guy that she desired to be with, just having regular girl talk. But the whole time, I just felt that there was something about her spirit that just did not resonate with mine. And so I knew in the dream at that time I was actually pregnant. I was with child, and I told her, I was like, well, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to leave. And I knew that I had parked my car down the street, like around the corner from where she stayed at. And so when I left out, I had like this eerie feeling that I wasn't going to be able to find my car. And lo and behold, when I went to go and look for it, it was gone. My car was missing. And the first thing that I thought of was that she had me set up. She had someone do something to my car. She had someone come and steal my car. And so I began walking down the street, and I was surrounded by a lot of people, a lot of people that was carrying a very low vibrational energy, okay? People who had not awakened to who they are, people who, a lot of drug dealers, a lot of people standing out there with guns. It was just that type of energy, just people around that was just looking for trouble. And so I was pregnant, and so I started grabbing my stomach because I was actually pretending to have some difficulties with my pregnancy so that they would have some sort of empathy towards me, because I knew if I did not do that, these people was going to look at me and they was going to judge me based on the way that I carried myself. And in that dream, I felt that they would try to attack me or do something to me. So I started, guarding my stomach, acting as if I had some issues. Meanwhile, I was looking for my car. I could not find it. And so I ended up going into this building, which ended up being like the nearest hospital. I'm not sure how I got in there, but I was sitting in there trying to contemplate, well, how am I going to get back? How am I going to get to where I need to go without a vehicle? And so I ended up calling her and, the friend, and I told her, what was going on. And she seemed just kind of not very concerned about the situation. And so I'm not really sure what else took place in the dream, because I did wake up, but I probably had a lot more to the dream. But you know how sometimes you have a dream and then you wake up and you don't remember everything. So that was the part that I did remember. And so I did look into it to see, okay, well, cars in the dream, somebody steals your car. What does that mean? And I came up with a couple of interpretations based off of what I looked up. And it mentioned how the car is a part of your identity, which it is. When we purchase a vehicle, we tend to go for something that's more in alignment with our personality. The color, the shape, the model, all of these things. Or we tend to go for a car that actually is more structured to our lifestyle. If you have a lot of children, you might go and get a van, but you want to get one, that's the right color, that's the right, shape, whatever the case, the right model. And so we tend to get cars to identify with ourselves on a material level. So I was like, okay, I put that together. All right, somebody was trying to steal my identity, or what I identify with in the physical. But what I realized is that the real gift, what I truly possessed, I was pregnant with that. And that is what I was guarding and protecting. That is what I was more concerned about than the car itself. Okay. And so in the dream, it was like, okay, even though they tried to steal what I identified with, even though they tried to take my measure of um, the only measure of transportation that I had, I felt that what was more valuable to me was what I was pregnant with, the gift that I had been pregnant with. And so I say that to say some of you might have some people around you in your immediate circle who would like to try and cause or try to wreak havoc in your life, to assuming that it's going to throw you off your path, assuming that it's going to throw you off balance and cause you to lose your identity, because I'm pretty sure that you all are changing a lot. You've gone through some major transformations, and so who you are today and who you present yourself to the world to be today looks completely different from who you was yesterday. And there's been a lot of changes, and people notice those changes. It's very clear to them, and a lot of people are not comfortable with that. And so I feel that you might have some people in your immediate circle who are trying to do manipulative things to try to manipulate your identity, but because they're still asleep and because they have no understanding of the spiritual realm versus the physical and merging the two together like we do, they are going after the identity that they're accustomed to, the one that they feel that you present. Let me see, the one that's from a more material standpoint, not the identity of who you are on a spiritual level, but the identity of who they assume that you are on a physical level, if that makes sense. And so they're trying to do things to manipulate you in that way, not knowing that the true gift that you have is within you. It cannot be taken from you. It's growing inside of you, and that you haven't even fully transformed, and we have yet to fully even express the fullness of who we are. Okay, they only see a part of who we are, because we are still coming into that understanding of our true identity and what the Most High is doing within us and the changes that's happening for us. We haven't even fully been able to see what that means. And so they are assuming that if they can get to you on a more surface level, that they have somehow stripped you of the identity that you have grown to become at this point in time. So be very cautious of the people that you have around you at this time. I feel like that's very largely the message. And also be very protective of what is growing inside of you. Okay. Like I said, I was very guarded of the pregnancy. I was very guarded of the baby that I had inside of me within that dream. And I was less concerned about the car, which was the false identity. That was not who I knew that I was becoming, or I'd say interpreting the dream. That's not who I am growing to become. But the car identified with who I am, or who I am on a surface level versus who I am on a more spiritual level. And that the spiritual part of me, the spiritual aspect of me is still growing and transforming. So that's the message. Be very protective of that, and do not allow too many people to come into your space, especially if your intuition and your level of discernment is telling you that you have outgrown that relationship with those people, places, whoever this person is. I feel like it's people. If you know that you've outgrown that relationship, it's time for you to sever ties with these people so that you can continue to grow and to go down your spiritual path. So let me see. What's the first card coming out here? Okay, a judgment call is being made on this decision. A second chance is possible, but there's a need to be transparent and authentic. So with this coming out, this is all about the judgment. A judgment call is being made on a situation. A judgment call is being made on a person. So I feel that you might be making a judgment call over someone's connection or someone that has been in your life, but this could literally be a judgment call that's being made over the situation or your interaction with particular people in your life that did not mean you well. So this could be the Most High coming in, the universe, karmic justice coming in to establish balance in your life and to make a true judgment call on this situation. You have here, embrace the beautiful moments that you have created. Every day won't be blissful, but to sustain happiness externally, it must be maintained within first. Happiness, family, love are yours. This is what you wished for and prayed for. So you are in a position where you have a lot of beautiful things that's coming towards you. The chosen seed, we have a lot of beautiful things that's coming towards us. Judgment calls are being made to reestablish balance for us because we've been through many things. The chosen seeds, I can guarantee you that many of you have great testimonies to give to the world, and you're being prepared to express those testimonies in whatever way your gift is being formed for you to express it, whether it's through music, whether it's through poetry, whether it's through writing books, being a motivational speaker, a mentor, music, like I think I already said that, dance, whatever it is that you do as a healer, your gifts are being born inside of you. And I feel that that's why, there's a need to embrace all of the beautiful moments that are coming towards you and to learn how to sustain it in spite of external influences that might want to try to come in and throw little stumbling blocks in your way to keep you from moving towards your happiness or from being in a space of happiness, because misery loves company. And if people see you being too happy or too resilient or too when you have a protective barrier up where negative things just bounce right off of you, they don't bother you, people get offended by that because they have yet to go through the healing to learn how to actually build up a barrier against negativity. And so they themselves just become, they hold on to those things, and that's why they end up projecting them to other people. And so let's see, what does this say? The cocoon is lonely but necessary for transformation. Don't allow anyone to interfere into your space at this time, as this time is needed right now. This says you may be in a space of isolation at this time, but in this place you are seeing and learning much wisdom. Take all the time you need. Okay, these are cards that I have written out myself, so you can pause this and read it. Take all of the time you need. Okay, this is talking about the cocoon phase being lonely. So that's all about the transformation that I was just telling you all about. Going from being the caterpillar, presenting yourself to the world in one form, and going into this energy of transformation where you're growing, you're developing, and you're getting ready to come out to be this unique butterfly, whatever that looks like for you, because all butterflies, no two butterflies are the same. And so the cocoon phase, it can become lonely. The 144, the chosen seeds, we have to walk a very narrow path. And because the path is very narrow, that means that not too many people can follow you down this path. Not too many people are in a position where they have been created or structured to be able to follow that path. It's not meant for them. The divine path is not meant for them. It's meant for you. It's meant for us. And so the cocoon phase, going through that transformation of shedding old skin and becoming someone totally different and presenting yourself to the world differently, means that not only are people going to be offended by who you are now versus who you used to be, they're going to try to cause stumbling blocks because they want you to go backwards. They want you to go back to who they was familiar with. Okay, the person that they was familiar with, because it's very uncomfortable for them to be able to see that you are transforming and they are still sitting in the same hamster wheel of karmic lessons. And so don't allow anyone to interfere in your space at this time, because this time is needed right now. And so that's the energy that I was picking up on from my dream. I had reconnected with someone who I knew did not have the best intentions for me, who I knew did not appreciate my gifts or my creative nature in that dream. And so I knew that person would try to throw stumbling blocks. This person was trying to steal what I identified with, or my vehicle of forward movement, because they wanted to try to slow me down, not knowing that what I was pregnant with was the true gift, and it was something that they could not touch. It was highly protected, and I was using extra protective measures to protect that gift that was forming within me. And so this is why it's so important for you all in this time of the cocoon phase. Don't allow loneliness to cause you to go backwards to friendships that you had to walk away from because it was not serving you and moving you towards your evolution and rising up above negativity and negative people, negative thoughts, places, things. Don't allow yourself to go backwards because of the loneliness of the cocoon. Work through the process. Find other measures to actually to transmute that energy, to alchemize that energy so that you can continue to grow, so that you can continue to move through the process of growth, because growth is infinite, okay? And it's never ending, but there are specific seasons in your life where you go from this particular form to this particular form to this particular form, but you want to make sure that you're constantly rising up in your growth. You don't want to end up descending back down or stooping back down to that lower level energy because you're lonely or because you miss having certain connections in your life. You're going to be connecting with the right people. Now is the time to be in that energy of embracing this moment. And so while it feels different, there's ways that you can that you can find appreciation and gratitude in life in spite of how different you might be feeling during this transformation. So continue to embrace the beautiful moments in life. Continue to operate from a space of gratitude, even if you are going at this alone, because you have to know that on the other side of this, your sacrifice will not go unnoticed. Okay, you've been sacrificing all of your life. But now this particular sacrifice that you're making is one that's going to allow you to develop into who the Most High has crafted you to be, specifically in this time period, okay? So there's a gift that's growing inside of you, and you don't want to allow any loneliness or outside influences to come in and interfere with that. This says someone is in their creative energy, very attractive, confident, and bold, possessing great power and passion. Know your worth and stand in it. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about. Knowing your worth, standing in it, because not everybody is going to appreciate or value who you are becoming. Most people who you grew up with or that you consider to be old friends, who you was drawn to when you was operating from a lower vibrational energy, are not going to appreciate you as you glow, as you become the light. They're not going to appreciate that. And if you want to even go back into biblical text, when Christ had to leave his hometown because they did not appreciate who he was, because they were so fixated on the fact that he was this, he was the carpenter's son. He can't possess gifts. I know him. I grew up with him. There's no way that he has all of these gifts, or that he's hand selected by the Most High. There's no way that he's here to be a light to transform the perception of the entire world. There's no way. And so people will look at you in that way because they want to believe that you are who you used to be. They don't want to embrace the fact that you are actually chosen, because if they embrace the fact that you are chosen, then that means that they might have to come to you and apologize to you for some things that they've done in the past. They might have to humble down, not worship. We ain't talking about putting yourself on a pedestal. Obviously, you know that as a chosen seed, we operate from a very humble spirit. But people, when they come into the realization of who you are, it does something to their spirit. It shakes them up a little bit, especially if internally they had negative intentions for you and they tried to put out stumbling blocks to see you fail because they just thought that you was just leveling up in life. They didn't realize that you had a blessing that was over you, like a true anointing that was over you, that was guiding you towards this path where you're actually structured, you're actually being built to actually establish a new foundation for the entire humanity. When you have an assignment that great, people, the spirit gets shooken up. Those people from your past, their spirits get shaken up because a large part of them is jealous that they was not chosen for that path. A large part of them is jealous because they never could have envisioned that you, their sister or their brother, their uncle, that, how could you, why was you chosen instead of me? People have that type of attitude because they don't understand. The Most High has the authority to choose whoever he wants to choose to have specific positions. And this is not about saying, okay, the 144,000 is the heart of the body. If we have to break down a body, this is how it was revealed to me in my awakening. This entire thing, infinitely, it is one body, one structure. But then you have the heart. When you think about the organs of the body, you have the heart. The heart is the main organ of the body. If the heart stops pumping, everything else stops, okay? Everything else stops. Now, that doesn't discount that the pinky toe is just as valuable. You see what I'm saying? Because if the pinky toe, let's say without the pinky toe, you lose complete balance, okay? It throws off your balance when it comes to walking. That makes you more susceptible to injuries. Okay, and injuries makes you more susceptible. If, let's just say, the pinky toe was to get infected, if the pinky toe got infected without proper treatment, that could literally cause infection throughout the entire body and in the entire bloodstream. And so then that would directly cause issues with the heart, because now the heart has to pump even more blood to try to, recirculate and cleanse out all of the toxins and the bacteria from the issues that's happening because of what took place with the pinky toe. So every part, all of us play a vital role in this thing, but some people will get jealous of you for having the role of being the heart versus the pinky, because in their own mind, they have not accepted the fact that the role that they play is just as important. It's just at a lesser, it holds its place in the body. You see what I'm saying? It holds its place in the body. And so that's the energy that people project towards the chosen seeds. And so it's very important for you to protect your energy right now. Let me see. It's good to have a unique perspective of life. Your ships are coming in because you are unapologetically choosing what's right for you. Ready to move towards a new direction and turn away from the past. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The message is very clear. Okay? Ready to move towards a new direction and a turn away from the past. It's good to have a unique perception of life. Your ships are coming in. So you see life from a very unique perspective. Okay? Probably all of your life you've had somewhat of a rebel spirit. Okay, and that's how it's supposed to be for the chosen seeds, because ultimately what would happen is we would end up being the ones that would take the road less traveled. The only way you could take the road less traveled is if you have a rebel spirit, because those who end up walking with each other, everybody that's walking into the same direction because it's comfortable, because they're conditioned to do it, because traditionally this is what mama did, this is what grandma did, this is what daddy did, grandpa did. Everybody said that this is what we're supposed to do, so I'm just going to follow the path. Even if it doesn't feel right, I'm just going to follow suit, because I don't want to be judged. I don't want anyone questioning me or saying that, I'm going off path. They're too concerned about other people's opinions. But the chosen seeds, we are the ones that take the road less traveled. It was already embedded in us, in our DNA, in our spiritual structure, in our soul. It was already established that we would be the ones to take a different path. And so you begin to see things differently. You rise above your circumstances like an eagle, and you're able to see the full picture, the full scope of what's happening. You're able to see right through the matrix. You're not going to be the one that's standing in line to go and get the vaccination. I'm sorry to tell you, but if you are joining me in this video right now, you are not part of the chosen seeds or part of the 144,000 if you have stood in line to go get that vaccination. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not attracting those people who have done that. The 144,000 see things from a higher level of consciousness, and we understand the agenda behind the agenda behind the agenda. Okay? And everything that needs to be revealed ultimately is beginning to become more and more revealed to us in regards to those people that's in our circle, family members, the governmental structures, religion, all of these things. Your eyes become open. You cannot unsee the truth once you begin to walk your spiritual path, and that transformation begins. And so this is what it is. You're in that energy of going through the transformation. Judgment calls are being made on certain people in your life. It's time for you to continue to move forward. Don't look back, because you are, you're glowing. You're in your energy of that fire that's within you. That light that's within you is becoming more bright. It's shining more brightly. And so you need to step into your purpose confidently and courageously and boldly and unapologetically, and continue to move forward. Do not look back at the past, because the past no longer serves you. It served you right where it stood. There was lessons that you had to learn from those people that you had in your life, family members, friends, old romantic partnerships. Lessons had to be learned in order to form you, in order to grow you. And so you had to go through a lot of hard stuff. But you already know that when the coal goes through that pressure, only certain coals come out to become that diamond on the other side of that pressure and all of that fire and, the heat. Okay? If you can't stand the heat, you got to get up out the kitchen. But the chosen seed, we was able to withstand that heat and turn into a diamond, because it was already divinely created. We was already hand selected to become that diamond. Okay? And so you have to keep pushing forward into your purpose. Don't look back. So let me pull a couple of more cards from this deck. We're going to keep on going and see where the message is taking us. So this says past lives. This is all about people from your past, be it past lives, years ago, from childhood up into adulthood, or even past lives, like literal past lives, because this is not our first time being here. Okay? This is not our first time being here. And so there are people who are, the time, this is like an hourglass. Their time is up. Okay? As this continues to, as the hourglass continues, that sand that is usually in there, these people are leaving out of your life, okay? And that's why it says you have to leave them in the past. Don't look back. This says, ready to move towards a new direction, turn away from the past. So that would be those people who were with you in those past lives. A lot of these people, they want to cling to you. They want to cling to your energy. They want to cling to the grace and the anointing that you have over your life, because many of them have made a lot of bad decisions along the way. Many of them actually came here with the intention of wreaking havoc and causing and creating stumbling blocks in your life to keep you from moving forward and to keep you from becoming who you are, the chosen seed. Okay, that was their assignment. And so many of them want to cling to you in hopes that they can kind of lessen or lighten up the karmic justice or the judgment that's coming down on them. But there's nothing that they can do about that except for get the lessons. And if they don't get the lessons, then they'll continue in a hamster wheel, a cyclic wheel of karmic lessons until they do. And if they don't, then they'll just have to face the consequences of that. But you, meanwhile, the chosen seed has to continue to press forward, continue to evolve, and continue to stand in our divinity. Don't allow loneliness of this process to cause you to go back. Stay in harmony with yourself, between your heart and your head space. Keep a peaceful mind. Release yourself of all negative thoughts. If you find yourself overthinking, find peace within. You don't have to don't try to look to someone else to try to find peace within your circumstances because you're feeling that you don't have a lot of people in your space right now. Find that peace and that happiness from within. And as you continue to do that, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is going to continue to come through. Okay? And your energy, your energetic vessel, you're going to continue to vibrate higher and you're going to continue to shine. Okay? That light is going to continue to shine within you. And so you want to create that peace and that harmony from within yourself. Look at that. The Creator, that light. The Most High has given you a gift. And this is a gift that only you uniquely possess. Whatever gift it is that you have, you are being given the authority to become the co-creator of your life. Okay, alongside with the Most High, you are becoming the co-creator of your life, and that light that is within you is beginning to shine. You are beginning to see things more clearly, and because that light is shining within you, it's clear. People can see this. People can see this light in your auric field. People can see you glowing and shining, and they see you as a creator. They understand who you are. And so they want to try, and pull you back to who you used to be. Pull you back to your past, because they know that the more that you continue to stay in this space of harmony, the more that you continue to move towards this space of inner peace and balance, the more that you're going to continue that light is going to become brighter and brighter and brighter. And you're going to be creating some things that, you got beautiful things that's coming towards you. Look at what's at the bottom of the deck. The miser. The miser. That's that energy of those people that's around you that they want to take it all. They want to take it all. They don't want you to have anything. They know that you are a jewel. They know that you are destined for greatness. They know that you have been divinely selected and chosen. And these people are very selfish in their energy. They're very jealous and envious. And they don't want to give you anything. They don't want to have to share anything. They're very possessive when it comes to materialistic things. They hold very tightly to those things that exist within the matrix or within the material realm. They don't have any understanding of the spiritual realm. And so this is why they cling so tightly to those things that they have in the physical, because they have no understanding of a higher level of consciousness or perception of who they are. You have to understand this thing from both a spiritual and a physical perspective. If you lose connection with who you are on a spiritual level, then you'll just be a walking zombie here in the physical, in the 3D, in the matrix, trying to figure it out, and you'll always be bitter. You'll always feel like you don't have enough. There'll always be a void within you, and this is the type of energy that these people possess, and this is why they're so possessive over the things that they have. Okay, and they also want to hold on to you because, like I said, they know that you're a jewel. They know that you are precious. They know that you are a diamond, and so they want to hold on and cling to you because there's a certain light that you bring and a certain amount of protection that you've always brought to them in the physical realm. But it's over with. Look at this conditioning. You are that lion. You are that lion. And because for so long you didn't know who you was, you stayed tied and chained and bound to these sheep. Everybody, these are all the ones that take that wide path. But you was always destined and divinely guided to walk the narrow path because you've always been different. Some might say that you're the black sheep of the family, but you are a lion. You are a lioness. You was created for greatness. And because they was able to keep you, because for so long you was blinded to who you were in the past, these people benefited from you. They was able to drain you of your energy. They was able to have a protective, they was protected because of you, like I said. You see what I'm saying? These sheep are protected just by the mere presence of this lion. Even though this lion doesn't know who he is, because if this lion knew who he was, he would never be chained and bound by sheep. But because in your past you were so chained and bound by them, they had a measure of protection around them. You was conditioned by them to believe that you were a part of who they are. You was conditioned to believe that you were the same. Even though a large part of you knew that there was something different about you. But they surrounded you. They wanted to keep you caved in and crowded in so that you would never awaken to who you was, because the moment that you awaken to the fact that you are a lion or a lioness, you would easily devour them. They will become spooked and scared in their boots. And that's what's happening right now. People are becoming fearful of you waking up to who you are, because the more you wake up, once you wake up, you start cutting people out. You take that sword of truth and you use that double-edged sword to cut people out of your life. And the moment that you cut them out, now they've lost that measure of protection. Now that judgment, that righteous judgment has to come upon their heads. A judgment call is being made in this situation. That righteous judgment has to come upon their heads because they was trying to do everything possible to keep you in a space of being asleep to who you are, even though they themselves knew who you were. Okay? This is not a game. The chosen seeds, it's time for us to move into our purpose, to let go of these karmic connections, these people from our past lives, these people from our past that we grew up with. And this is why the postponement is happening. We got 2 cards here. This is why the postponement is happening, because it's time for you to be able to see things from a much more clear, more vibrant perspective. You were seeing things from a black and white perspective. It's now time for you to see things from a new set of eyes. See things from a clearer perspective so that you can, create the type of desired outcome that you want. This postponement is happening so that you can create this colorful foundation from within. Number 4 deals with foundations. So creating this from within so that it can manifest on the outside, externally in your circumstances, okay? Ripeness. There's growth that's happening here. There's growth that's happening, and that's why when I mentioned in the dream I was pregnant, because there was something that was growing inside of me. These are the seeds that you have planted all of your life, okay? The chosen seed, we've always had it. I'm sure that you can relate to this. We've always been in this energy of being empathetic. We've always been in this energy of being the giver. Never being in that energy of wanting to maliciously do things against other people. All right. And so because of that, always giving to the homeless, or being that person that was always, people are drawn to you. They want to hear, they want to communicate with you. Okay, they want to tell you their issues, and they always look to you to solve their problems. And maybe you always wondered, like, why do people always feel drawn to come to me, or they come and tell me, they spill everything to me? It's because they understood that you possessed an energy where you had a direct connection to the source, the Most High. Even though you might not have been able to see it, because you might have been looking at your external circumstances like, well, I'm going through this, I got poverty, I got this going on, a bad relationship, I got XYZ. You probably could not see it, but other people was able to see it. They was able to detect that beautiful energy, that beautiful soul that you possess. And so postponement is all about things being put on hold. Like I said, it's not a lot of movement. It might feel lonely, but it's only because you have to be able to see things from a higher perspective. Continue to rise in your consciousness in the way that you view your circumstances. Don't look at it from the physical. Don't look at it from the 3D. Step outside of the matrix and see this from a higher level of consciousness so that you can continue to evolve. Don't become your own stumbling block within your own mind about what's happening. This is bigger than what you are able to conceptualize from a 3D perspective. And so ripeness shows me that those seeds that you have planted, they are growing, they are blossoming, they are blooming, and pretty soon you're going to be able to reap a very beautiful harvest because of the seeds that you have planted. Hold on, this one flew on the floor, y'all. So this says awareness. You are coming into a space of awareness. That's what I was just telling you about in terms of seeing this from a higher level of consciousness. Step outside of fear. Okay, do not allow fear to put you in the shadows. Step outside of fear. Come into the space of awareness, a higher level of consciousness, so that you're able to walk right through that. And the number 7 here, that's what that says in Roman numerals down there. The number 7 deals with seeing things from a spiritual perspective. Like I was saying, coming into that space of awareness from a spiritual perspective. And this is at the bottom of the deck, being in that energy of letting go. It's time to let go of those people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Do not hold yourself back, because what you're doing is you're becoming a part of a greater body. I was telling you from the beginning, I was talking about the body, how I was able to see this entire thing as us being a part of a body. So right now, being in that energy of being that drop, all of your life you've been that drop. Now you're getting ready to fall into this pond, and you become the actual pond itself. You become a part of a body that is greater than yourself. But now this is who you are. Before, this is who you was, but now you're joining forces with a body, something that's much greater than who you used to be, than what you used to be. And there's this energy of needing to let go of the past so that you can actually move towards your greater purpose, because this is much bigger than what you're able to see. And then, yeah, this says politics. Letting go of those people that was wearing false masks, because now you're able to try someone by their spirit. Your spiritual eyes are opening up to the point where you're able to use your level of discernment, use your gift of being an empath, because the chosen seeds are very empathic. We're able to sense, we're able to feel, we're able to hear. We all have different gifts in different ways, but we are able to definitely have a strong level of discernment. That is our protective measure that's been given to us and gifted to us, so that we will not allow people that are coming in with this energy of wearing a mask, because you will have a lot of people that come around you that wear masks, okay? But these masks are being taken off. The veil is being lifted from your eyes, where you're able to see the snakes that are around you, and you're able to see the people that's coming into your life that's playing politics with you, that really have a malicious intent. Pay attention. Come into that energy of awareness, so that you know who you need to release, who you need to let go of, so that you can continue to move forward down your path. That's what's being revealed to you. This postponement that's happening is showing you to see things from a more brighter and more colorful perspective, to see things more clearly from a level of awareness, not of fear, not a fear of being alone, not a fear of being left out in the cold or left in the shadows. No, you're being guided towards a new path. So you have to live in the moment. Stay in the moment. Do not allow yourself to become bogged down with the past, or just stay in the now. Staying in the now is what keeps you balanced. When you stay too focused on the past, or when you stay too focused on where you're headed, it throws you off balance, because you're not going with the flow of life. You're not allowing things to happen naturally. So that's why it's so important to go within, gain your inner balance from doing your meditations, saying your prayers, doing deep breathing exercises, getting outside into nature, finding moments, however you do it, in order to stay in that space of gratitude, okay, and of inner peace. This says morality. So there might be something in regards to your morals that's keeping you kind of stuck in this rigid energy. And like I said, that could largely be due to conditioning of other people's influences over your life, and the way that you should think, the way that you should be, the way that you should present yourself. But you have to do not forget that you are not the same. You are different. You was created different. And so do not allow it to put you in this space of being rigid or cold or closed off to understanding things from a higher perspective, all because of morality, because of what other people have placed on you. Don't be fooled, okay? Don't be fooled by just don't be fooled by other people who have not had the right intentions. They didn't want you to see things from the very beginning. This lion had to come out and be born into this understanding, or into this belief that he was the same as these sheep. They didn't just pull this lion about the jungle. The lion knew who he was, and they just went and grabbed him. No. This lion was born into this conditioning. And that's what it is. That's what it was for you. You was born into a certain level of conditioning to believe that there were certain things that you could not seek. There were certain directions that you could not go into. Okay. And so that's why you want to remove yourself from that energy of the morality that was placed on you by other people that did not have the right intentions. Because look at this, these two people look the same. You take this mask off and he looks just like this person is trying to act like they holier than thou, like they're so, like their morality is so much in alignment, but meanwhile they're snakes, they're playing politics, and they're wearing a false mask. And this is what people, they've been able to condition you. This person looks the same as well. Very selfish in their energy, just wanting to keep you for themselves, wanting to take and take and take, because they're so caught up in materialism, but they've been wearing a false mask. So you want to keep that in mind. This says the fool, taking the leap of faith unapologetically, packing light and looking upward, looking up towards the Most High, not looking down, not worrying about where you're going to fall, not worrying about how you're going to land or where you're going to land, but looking up. And the number 0 is all about starting fresh, starting new. You don't need to take anything with you. This fool, this man has a flower, and that's it. A flower and faith. That's all you need. Get you a flower and some faith and take that leap of faith. Leave behind all. Look at that. That says trust at the bottom of the deck. It's time to trust the process. Trust the process. Release yourself from all of those things that kept you bound, and know that this is a divinely guided path and that you are being cradled by the Most High throughout this entire thing. You will not fall. You will not dash a toe. Just don't allow yourself to be caught up in fear, because this was purpose for you. So nothing can come in to cause there are stumbling blocks that can delay your forward movement, but nothing can stop your forward movement, because we are collectively coming together to raise the vibration of humanity, of the universe, okay? You have to understand this is so much bigger than what's happening with us individually, but that's where it begins. It starts on an individual level, and all of us, as we continue to awaken, it only takes 144,000. So imagine, we're talking about the entire globe, the entire universe being changed and shifted, all because we have woken up to who we are, and we trust the process. We walk in faith. We unapologetically move in our confidence and courageously and boldly express our gifts to the world, so that we can actually bring balance and restore balance and peace and love back to this thing. Allow yourself to grow. You're definitely growing. Okay, this is all about flowering. That's what that says. So you're growing, you're blossoming, you're coming into your intuitive gifts, you're understanding who you are, you're looking beautiful, you're balancing out your masculine and feminine energies within, and this creative gift that you have, your creativity is coming forward, okay? Your gifts are coming forward, they're shining through. So everything that's been growing within you is blossoming, okay? And you're going to be able to express those gifts to the world. It's light in all of these pictures. This says breakthrough. You are breaking through the mold, okay? The conditioning, everything, you're outgrowing it. You're shining so bright within. Your growth and your healing process is allowing you to shine so bright within that you don't have no choice but to bust through that thing. It's just like a volcanic explosion. Your energetic level, your energetic field, you're vibrating so high that you are no longer, you can no longer be chained down or held down by the constraints or the confinements of that box that people tried to keep you in so that they can avoid their own karmic debt. You're shining too bright. You're glowing up too much. So this breakthrough is happening in your life. And so there's a lot of beautiful things that's coming towards the chosen seed. It's just a matter of continuing to persevere and continuing to know when to let go. When to let go, okay? We're moving into a space. We're going to be celebrating together. In spite of the rain, we are going to be celebrating with one another. And this is why it's so important to live moment to moment, because you can be in that energy of being down at the fact that it's raining, or you can dance and jump in the puddles. And that's what you need to be doing right now, living moment to moment and not allowing what may appear, because it's all an illusion. It appears to be a negative situation. No, we're going to transmute and we're going to alchemize that energy with the gifts that the Most High has imparted within us, and we're going to create a peaceful outcome. We're going to create harmony in this thing. We're going to create an energy of celebration and gratitude for the rain. Let's dance in the rain. This gives you an opportunity to do something that you've never done before, so that's why it's so important to change the way that you see this thing. So I'm going to pull one more card from this deck, and then I'm going to give you some advice, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and close out. There's so much that I always want to say to you all, and so this is why I always end up in this position where I have to do a continuation. There's a lot that needs to be spoken to the 144,000. Look at what this says, y'all. Let's connect this with the dream that I told you about when we first began this message. Patience. Being patient with the fact that your gift is growing and developing within you. Okay, and that's the number 7 down there. So again, that's all about spirituality. This is all about phases. There's different phases and different cycles that has to happen before this gift can be fully produced. There's nurturing that needs to happen. There's love that needs to be given to this gift. And there's patience that needs to happen in order for you. And there's also inner peace, inner emotional balance that needs to be maintained as this gift continues to grow within you, okay? And so, like I said in my dream, I was very protective of the pregnancy that I had in that dream. That was the only thing that I was focused on. I wasn't focused on the car. I wasn't focused on what other people thought I identified myself with. I was focused on the one thing that I could not see clearly. I did not know who that baby was or what that, what the baby would turn out to be, but I knew it was something that I had to protect with everything that I had. I had to guard it, I had to nurture it, and I had to make it the number one priority. Outside of everything else, outside of all of the stumbling blocks that was trying to be thrown at me. Look at how the message is coming together. Be patient with the growth of this baby, the process of your gifts being birthed into the world, because it's going to bring a lot of growth to everything that exists around you. Nothing is going to be left unturned. No leaf, no stone is going to be left unturned when your gifts are produced to the world. Everything and everyone is going to benefit from your gifts as we all collectively come together as the chosen 144,000. Our gifts are going to be so powerful and so magnificent. This whole structure is going to look totally different. And this is why the so-called powers that have been trying to keep us in a space of fear, inciting fear, keep us in a space of feeling down and depressed and trodden down. The chosen seed have been through hell and back, but guess what? We standing up. We rising into our divinity now. We know who we are. And so beautiful things is going to happen in the world because we have been the sacrificial lamb. Okay? We had to sacrifice who we was in order to protect many other people against our own free will. But now we're going to do it within our own free will because we understand our purpose. Material and spiritual prosperity is what's coming towards you. Okay? Material and spiritual prosperity. So that's balance materially and spiritually in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm. You're going to have harmony and balance there. So there's no need to worry. No need to worry. And you'll be moving towards it alone for a time. But that's okay because pretty soon you'll be celebrating with like-minded people who have also had to grow through their tough times and had to learn how to celebrate and dance in the rain, because we are all going to be coming together to do something much greater than ourselves. Look at this spiritual union. You're going to come together with your divine partner as well. The 144,000, every last one of us has a partner. You break down the number 144,000, I believe that equals to, is it 72,000? I believe it's 72,000. So there's one masculine and one feminine for each one of us. Masculine and feminine energies. But we have to first bring that balance within ourselves, that yin and that yang, that masculine and feminine energy within ourselves as we continue to grow and blossom and develop. You will be creating ties with your spiritual union, your spiritual partner, okay? And so there's no need to worry about loneliness. You're moving towards material abundance, spiritual abundance, your spiritual partnerships. There's so many beautiful things that's coming towards us. There is no need to worry. Just continue down the path and, like I said, live moment to moment. I'm going to pull 2 more cards from this deck and I'm going to close out. And if you would like a private reading from me, you can always email me. I'll put my email in the description box below. And if you desire a private reading, if you found that this message resonated with you, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you all back here again. This says wonders. You're piercing through the past. You're piercing through, and it's going to be wonders, miracles, something that you could have never imagined. Okay, piercing through that dark veil, that thick cloud that kept you back from moving forward. No, you're going to continue to move forward now. This crystal actually looks like an amethyst. So that's all about your intuition and allowing that to guide you. I call it your spiritual navigation. Listening to those subtle messages that's coming in from the Most High and from your holy angels and your spiritual team that surrounds you. Stay in that energy of resting and rejuvenating. Do not lose your connection to Mother Nature. Now more than ever, the chosen seed has to reconnect with nature. Get outside, take them shoes off, sit down in the grass, breathe in that beautiful air, sun gaze. Staying connected to nature is very, very, very important because it's going to help you to align yourself internally, as well as activate DNA, bringing those spiritual messages. And because we're healing not just ourselves, but we're healing Mother Earth. We're healing the air. We're healing the, everything. And the sun, because it's closer to the planet, is now vibrating. Everything is vibrating at a higher level of frequency. The energetic levels is much higher. And so if you have not healed, if you have not released yourself from negativity, you'll find that the shake up becomes very disruptive for people that are still operating at low vibrational energy. And so this is why it's so important to get out into nature so that your body can adjust to the changes that's happening external to you when it comes to the earth and the sun and all of these things, so that it's able to create these changes that your body needs in order to level up in your energetic level, so that you're operating at the same rate, you're vibrating at the same rate as the earth, you know. So that's very important. Rest and rejuvenate, get outside, meditate, pray. That's what I got for the chosen seeds. I love y'all. And I will definitely talk to you next time.